Hello YouTube world, welcome to my channel, and today I just want to share with you the following action figures that I bought from 168 Mall Divisoria, Philippines, the home of cheap products and the cheap action figures. So these action figures are bootlegs, and uh, these all comes from Infinity War or Avengers Infinity War, the movie, and I bought the three action figures for 350 pesos. Yeah, for 350 pesos, and I just want to share it with you because I think there's something with these action figures that somehow we can appreciate. And for bootlegs, I think the scope is great. So I hope you will like this video and you will like these action figures. But yeah, knowing that it is bootleg, there's so many negatives about these action figures. But somehow you will have the idea about these action figures. So we have here in front of you the Hulk and the Thanos action figure from the movie, and the third one is the Hulkbuster. So let's take a look about these action figures. And when I saw the Thanos action figure, is this actually the action figures that caught my attention, and that motivated me to buy this set of action figures. And somehow let's see if there's something that we can appreciate about this Thanos action figure, and we will also see the Hulk and the Hulkbuster. And we have now the Hulk action figure that we are going to review first. And I think this Hulk action figure is really great, and I think they did a great job on this action figure because yeah, though it is bootleg action figure, the molding of this action figure is being kept by the people who made the original ones and reproduced this action figure. But they added a bulb on the chest of the Hulk that if you're going to press the button at the back of this Hulk action figure, that bulb will lights up. So let me see, let me show it to you. This, see that? Yeah, that's what will happen if you're going to press the button at the back of this Hulk action figure. And so yeah, the molding of this action figure is really looks the original. And if you're going to take off the button and the bulb on the chest of this Hulk action figure, this really looks like the original action figure of Hulk. And look at that face of Hulk, right? It's really good, and I really like that. And even on the lower part of this Hulk action figure, so you can see that there are five screws at the back of this Hulk action figure. It has a screw here at the back of the neck of Hulk, and at the lower part of the button, and the upper part of the butt. And we have there's also a screw here and even here. So yeah, but for the most part, this Hulk action figure, though it is bootleg, it is a great looking action figure. And look at that face of Hulk, right? It's really good. This is really look like the Bruce Banner Hulk from Avengers, and I really like it a lot. I like how they paint the eyebrow and the eyes of this action figure, right? Let me adjust that light. I just want to show you the eyes of this Hulk, but I think you wouldn't be able to see it because my light is a little bit darker. So yeah, that's it, right? So this Hulk action figure has two blue eyes and with really white teeth, and I like that. And I also like the details of this Hulk action figure. Look at the muscles on the chest of this Hulk. I really like it. And even the abdomens of this Hulk. It's really good. And look at the veins, right? I like it. And the sculpt of the muscles of this Hulk action figure is really nice. And at the right hand of this action figure, it has a closed position, and on the left hand it has a I think it's a grapple hand position. And there's also few texture here on the short of this Hulk action figure, and few lines here. And yeah, oh, look at that cut. Oh, I like that. And there's also a screw here. I know, yeah, it's actually a joint, right? And I like that. So impressive when it comes to the details of the muscles of this Hulk. And this is the bottom, and there is no any mark of how this action figure where this action figure is made up. But of course it is made in China, because yeah, I bought it from Chinese people in 168 Manila, Divisoria Mall, Philippines. And that mall is one of the major mall where people in Manila went to buy something cheap products, and of course action figures. So yeah, I really like the details of this Hulk, and even the hair, I like it. It's great. So yeah, and when it comes to articulation, this Hulk, oh, I take it off, but yeah, you can put it back. So actually it can rotate the head 360. You can turn the hand both 360, but it cannot move sideward. Yeah, that's the problem of the bootlegs action figure. But sometimes there are bootlegs that you can split both legs, but sometimes it cannot be moved, right? And on the elbow, look at that, look at that. Look at the cut, it's really weird. Look at that. Oh, and there's a pattern here that this elbow is from the right arm, so there's a right sculpt there. But look at that, it's really good that this Hulk can bend the elbow that much. But look at that elbow, it's really weird, right? Really weird. And also on the left elbow, you can also bend it that far, and it's really weird also. And it also has a scope there that it is from left elbow, right? And there is no articulation on the chest, but you can rotate the waist of this Hulk action figure 360. It can, oh boy, it can, it cannot kick. Yeah, you can, oh my goodness. So this is how it stands, and you can, oh boy, I don't know, it cannot kick that much. You can just move the leg, just that it. And also to this one, right? Yeah, just that far. And you can also bend the knee of this Hulk, just that it. Oh, look at that, it can also bend the knee this far. Look at that, this far, and look at that, really weird, right? Really weird. But yeah, this Hulk is really articulated. And there's also a pattern of R here that it is from right knee, and also on the left knee can also bend this much, right? And I like that. So this bootleg Hulk is a cool action figure. I like it, but I'm not going to keep this action figure because I'm going to sell it in my Facebook page. And so let's take a look at the second figure, which is the Hulkbuster. And we have now the Hulkbuster bootleg action figure, and I think this Hulkbuster has a great sculpt, and when it comes to details, well, there's so much details that we can see about this action figure. But yeah, the Hulkbuster has also a so much missing details at the back of this action figure, but somehow yeah, because it is bootleg, that is understandable. I'm going to put this Hulkbuster uh, down because the solar display cannot carry it and it doesn't revolve. So yeah, there's so much details on this Hulkbuster here, and I like the how they paint this action figure, and it really looks metallic, especially on the face of this Hulkbuster action figure and the silver paint, and it's really great, right? It's really great, and it's a bit heavy, you know what, it's a bit heavy and I like it. And there's so many details also even on the lower part of this action figure, and I like the sculpt of the Hulkbuster, and also here, right, I like it, I love that. Even here, so there's so many details that we can appreciate about this Hulkbuster. So I'm not going to tackle the details one by one because there's a lot of it. But at the back of this action figure, there's so many missing details, and there's also scroll here at the back of the thigh of this Hulkbuster, and at the butt there's also a scroll even here and here, and there's also a button here that you can press on to turn on the bulb on the chest like this. That's it, right? So I think, yeah, for children, this Hulkbuster is, I think, really pleasing to them, and somehow I really like this Hulkbuster because of the sculpt of this action figure. And so when it comes to articulation, of course, we cannot rotate the head of this Hulkbuster. I don't know if the head of Hulkbuster can be rotated on the other action figure, but on this bootleg action figure you cannot rotate the head, but you can rotate the hand like this one, and the other one 360. You cannot also move the hand sideward or outward, but you can bend the elbow. Yeah, you can bend the elbow just that far, and it's a little bit yeah, it's a bit bending, and like this one also. So the bending of the elbow is also limited, so you cannot rotate. There's no articulation on the chest, no articulation on the waist, but you can make this Hulkbuster kick that far. And I think when it comes to kicking, this is more better than that Hulk, because the Hulk cannot kick, right? So yeah, you can also kick this far also. I think the right leg, yeah, the right leg can kick much than the left leg. It cannot kick that much. Okay, so yeah, and there's also articulation on the knee, but you can only bend it just a bit. Yeah, it's really limited, but I think that is understandable because the the feet of this Hulkbuster is so big, right? So yeah, now let's go to the third one, which is the Thanos bootleg action figure, and I hope this Thanos action figure is also pleasing, like with this Hulkbuster and the Hulk. Somehow they are pleasing, though there are so many. There's also negatives on these action figures, but knowing that they are bootlegs, so that is also given, right? So let's take a look at the third one. Okay, so we have now the Thanos action figure of bootleg from Infinity War, the movie, and I think there's also many lacks of detail at the back of this Thanos action figure, but somehow when you see it in distance, this action figure is also great. But there's so many lacks of detail also on the Infinity Gauntlet of this Thanos action figure, and there are missing uh, Infinity Stones, right? And perhaps this this gauntlet is uh, the gauntlet which Thanos had taken for the first time. There is no Power Stone and even the Space Stone on the gauntlet of this Thanos. But yeah, I think somehow it looks good, but not that great when it comes to the sculpt of the Hulk action figure and also the Hulkbuster. But yeah, for now, I couldn't find any Thanos action figure. The buff action figure is really hard to find from the Marvel Legends action figures. Not only that, it is costly, and it is also hard to find because you really have to buy all the characters of the wave in order to build the build action figure. What is it? The Thanos action figure from Avengers Infinity War. But for now, I only have the Thanos action figure from the bootleg, and I think in YouTube there's also uh, a Thanos of MCU from Avengers Infinity War being released in is a big watch, and I really like it. It's so good and it's really great. But yeah, those action figures are costly, so I think I need to wait for a long time so I can afford to buy them, because I'm waiting for those action figures to get sale and to make those prices become lower. Okay, so let's take a look at the Thanos action figure and um, you see the details. So I think it looks badass, right? Um, this Thanos action figure looks badass, and the build of the body is actually great. It looks like the Thanos from Avengers Infinity War, right? It's also great when it comes to sculpt, and even that ball stack on the lower chin of this Thanos action figure, right? And I think, yeah, it's something like a dirt. So when it comes to the paint of the Thanos, I think the paint is really great. That gold color is really good, and there's also few texture here, few lines here, and even here also on the chest of this Thanos, and there's a few lines of details here, and even the sculpt of the hand of this action figure. There's just few details, and the hand is a bit shining. It's a bit shiny, right? And on the right part, the hand of the Thanos is in closed position. That's it. And one thing that you can notice is that the joints of the Thanos action figure is uh, not in same color with the hand. So I think, yeah, I wish they made the joint of Thanos with the same color of the hand, right? But no, they didn't do that. And the same with the joints on the shoulder. And these are the details of the Infinity Gauntlet of this Hulk, of the Thanos action figure. It's good actually. So there's a mark here of the what do you call this, the Mind Stone from Vision, but there's no color. So yeah, I think it's supposed to have the complete color of Infinity Stones, because look at that, right? It has actually the complete details of Infinity Stones, because if it is incomplete, they should have a halo, right? Halo details here, but no, there's details that the an indication that the Infinity Stones are already complete, but they left it unpainted. Like, I like the detail, and here also. So yeah, and it has also that belt with gold color also, and with few lines of details, and also here on the knee of this Thanos with gold color knee protector, and the shoes not that great, but it's good. And at the bottom, wow, look at that, it's hollow. Why? I don't know why they didn't close the right the bottom of the uh, foot of Thanos action figure. I don't know, but it's just hollow. And the back details, there's few wrinkles here. I like that. And there's also a screw here, and at the lower part of the button, and it has also a button at the back of this Thanos. And let's see, yeah, oh, oh, it makes him look badass. Yeah, but yeah, you know, as I said lately, these action figures of bootlegs is for children, maybe under 3 years old. So yeah, somehow this Thanos action figure is good in distance. So when it comes to articulation, this Thanos can rotate the head, yeah, 360, and you can also take it off. Can also take it off the head of Thanos, and let me show it to you, the details of the head. My camera is struggling, come on. It's really hard. Why? That's it. But this is the details. This is the details of the head of Thanos action figure, and look at that eyes, right? I think it's like the eyes of a good man. Right. So yeah, and I like those details on this head. So let's put it back. So yeah, again, this Thanos action figure can be rotated the head 360. Yeah, and you can also rotate the hand, both hands 360 also, and it's not double jointed elbow like the Hulk, but yeah, it can just only bend the elbow just that far, and also this elbow. I'm gonna take off this action figure because the focus goes to the background. That's it, right? So you can also bend this elbow, and no articulation on the chest nor on the chest. Can keep that far, can also keep that far, can bend the elbow this far, and also this far, right? And no more articulations. And these are the 3 action figures of Infinity War bootleg action figures. But yeah, like I said lately, the Hulkbuster is not actually comes from Avengers Infinity War, but from Avengers Age of Ultron. So yeah, what can you say about this action figure? And I hope you like these action figures and you like this video. So hit like and don't forget to subscribe. So thank you for watching my video.